Hi, my name is Andre and welcome at your guitar workshop. In today's lesson, we're going to be looking at Take Me Home Country Roads by John Denver. The tablature is available on my Patreon page. Good to know is that I'll be using a thumb pick. Don't necessarily need to, but I think it works well. I've looked at different versions of it. What I did is I used the original, sort of the studio version for the transcription. However, here or there, I took some information from the live versions. What I'll do is I'll start with the intro first, obviously, and I'll play it for you, and then we'll get into how to play that on the guitar. Here we go. All right, so what did I do? You start off with an A major chord, and what I do is put my middle finger in second position of B, and pointer finger is going to second position of D and G. The reason I'm doing that is because my ring finger has to do a hammer-on in third position in the second bar. You can sort of do the fretting of those three strings with just your pointer finger if you bend it enough, but I kind of like this way of doing it. All right, so what do you play? You start off by playing A, G, E, and you do it with thumb, thumb, middle finger. Then you play E, D, E, and that is also thumb, thumb, middle finger. And the counting goes 1, 2, and 3, 4, and, right? 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. In the second bar, you play A, B, G, B with thumb, pointer, thumb, pointer. So when you combine those notes, you get this. Then what you do is you play A string, E string, then D string, and then B string, right? However, when we play that A string, at the same time we make a hammer-on with our ring finger, so like this. Then E, D, B. So when I play that second bar, you get once more. Right? Then in the third bar, you play this pattern. You play A, B, G, E. And then you do the same thing, but you start with a low E string. And you play thumb, pointer finger, thumb, middle finger. And then the second half is the same. Thumb, pointer finger, thumb, middle finger. All right? So that third bar goes like this. Then in the fourth bar, sort of play exactly the same thing as in the second bar. However, at the end, you don't play the D string to the B string, but you play the A string, the G string to the B string. So that bar goes like this. Right? So those four bars together, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that is the intro. All right, now for the verse. So once the verse starts, you get into this continuous picking pattern with maybe here or there a little variation, but it's pretty much an ongoing thing. In fact, you could use the basic pattern and play it throughout the song and not have to think about a single thing. So that's what I'm going to do first, is explain that picking pattern. And the great thing is, you already know it, because that's exactly what we did in the third bar of that intro, right? Where we played on that A chord, right? So we have a picking pattern where we play an alternating bass. So on the A chord, it alternates between the A string and the E string. You play A, B, G, E with thumb, pointer, thumb, middle finger. And then you do the same thing, but you start on the E string, like that. So you get. So the funny thing is that basically this is sort of how you can play through the entire song. So what I want to do is go through the verse first with this basic picking pattern and then explain to you where the variations are. So you get the A chord twice. Then you get the F sharp minor chord twice. Same picking pattern. However, instead of starting on the A string, you start on the E string and you alternate with the A string, right? So for those of you who don't know what the F sharp minor chord is, it's your pointer finger barring second position of all of your strings. Pinky goes to fourth of your D string and ring finger goes to fifth, also fourth of the A string, all right? And you play that same pattern. However, the alternating bass is E to A, like this. Right? Then you go to a normal E major chord, and there you play, again, the same pattern. However, now we're picking slightly different strings. The good news is that the bass pattern is exactly the same as the one you did on the F sharp minor chord, so you'll be alternating between E and A. And the strings you're going to be picking are going to be E, then G with your pointer finger, D with your thumb, and then middle finger is going to be playing E. So then you do the same thing, but having A string as your starting point. Right? So. When it comes to that top E string, either you pick it with your ring finger or you pick it with your middle finger. So in many cases, I use my ring finger for that, but some of you may not like that. So it's up to you, right? So up until now, we have A chord, F sharp minor, E. The next one is going to be on the D chord, and there the pattern, the bass pattern is going to be the D string alternating with the A string. So you play D, B, G, E, and then A, B, G, E. Right? And you do that for one bar. And then you would go to another A chord. So this is, remind you, this is the simplified version of it. And you would go back to your first picking pattern. Right? So the verse would sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm sorry I didn't do the alternating on the D chord. Let's add in the variation. So when you have the second bar of the verse, so that's on the A chord. So you play the first one. Then you play open E. You play the B string as you would. Make a hammer with your ring finger on that third position of that B string. And then you play open G string, right? So like this. And when you play that open G string, that's when you start switching to the F sharp minor chord. So, right? Almost. So when I listened, and it was kind of hard to hear, so maybe you could just sort of play that standard picking pattern on the F sharp minor. However, small detail here, he plays E string, G string with his pointer finger, and then G string with his thumb as well, and then middle finger plays E like this. So he has that one double, right? And then he goes back to the normal pattern. Right? E stays normal. However, on the D chord, you get this. Right? So you play with your pinky or ring finger, play fourth position of A. I also play that open E. It's kind of hard to hear in the recording there. And then you play second position of that same A string with your pointer fingers like this. And then you go to A sus2, right? So when you get to the D chord, 1, 2, 3, 4. So A sus2 is the exact same thing as your your A chord. However, it is without the ring finger, or just like with open B. The picking pattern there is going to be playing A, then you play G, E, then you play D, B, G, E with thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. Right, so I got this. And then in the second bar, you play that A string once more. You play open B, make a hammer-on in second position there, then open E string like this. Then you play that open A string once more, play B, hammer-on in second, and then play second position of G like this. So that A sus2 section. Put it all together, it should sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Okay, so the next part is a repeated verse, and then instead of going to the after the D to the A sus2, you have one bar of A, so it goes like this. Right? So you play A, G, E, and then E, B, G, E. That's thumb, thumb, middle, thumb, pointer, thumb, middle. Right? And then it goes into the chorus. All right, so what we'll do now is I'll play the first 4 bars of the chorus. We get into how to play that on the guitar, then we'll go to the next 4 bars, etc. Here we go. All right, so you start off with that A chord, and you play A, G, E, E, B, G, E. Then you play A, B, G, E, and then you get fourth position of A to open E, and then you play open D string like this. And then we go to the E chord. Now on that E chord, you have 2 options. Playing the open E string as your first note, as your bass note, alternating it with the A string, or going to that D string as your first note and alternating it with the A string. I opted to go to the D string because when you have this sort of bass line going up, it kind of sounds nice because you really move towards that note. All right, so what do? I'm playing D, G, E, and then A, B, G, E. So then I'm playing D, B, G, E, and then A, B, G, E. Right? So when we combine those 4 bars, we get this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, now for the next 4 bars, I'll play them for you, and then we'll get into how to play that on the guitar. Here we go. All right, so what do? Starting off with F sharp minor, the strings you play are E, G, E, and then A, B, G, E, like this. Then in the next bar, you play. So what you do is you play E, G, E, and then A, B, and then you play the D string with your thumb, but you lift your pinky first. So you play that in second position. Then you go to the next chord, which is D, and there you play this. So what do you do? So you have that D chord, you play D, G, E, A, B, G, E. Then you play D, B, G, E again, and then you play fourth position of that A string to second, right? And then we go back to the A chord. Here are the next 4 bars. So what do you do? So the first 2 bars of that are exactly the same as what you play at the start of the chorus. Then you get the E chord, and there are a few differences. So I'll go through those 2 bars. So you get D, G, E, A, B, G, E. That's all the same. Then you get again D, B, G, E. And then you play second position of A to fourth position of A. So that's sort of that bass line that will lead you into the D chord of the next bar. So that E section goes like this. So then we get the D chord, and that is exactly the same as what we played in bars 21 and 22. So and then we go to the A chord. Like this. And there you basically just play the ongoing picking pattern that we talked about already. Right? So the whole chorus goes like this. I'll say the chord names as I'm playing them. I took a couple of liberties there, but yeah, that's sort of the chorus. So after that, you go back to the verse, right? So you get a verse again, and I think it probably won't repeat it. Then you get the whole chorus again, and then we end up at the bridge. And the bridge goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what do? They're all the same chords, so you play now a strumming pattern, obviously, and that goes like this. So you have down, down, up. When you do the down ups, they're more on the top strings rather than at the bottom. And also here you have an alternating bass line. So at the F sharp minor chord, you play E to A, so you get, right? On the E chord, you get E to A. Then you go to the A chord, and that is A to E. And then you get 2, 4 on the A string, so that walking bass to the D chord. On the D chord, I'm playing open D string to open A string. Then you go to the A chord again. And then we go to the E chord again. Right? So those are the first 8 bars of the chorus. Of the bridge. So that goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. we go back to the F sharp minor chord in the next 8. Move it up a half step. So we get G minor, but we want to turn it into G major, just so you add your middle finger in 4th position with that G string. Also here you alternate between E and A string. Back to the D chord. Then you do the bass line down from 4 to 2. So, and then you go to A. And then we get 2 bars of E, and you play D, A, D, and then A, going to back to E, but now E7. And for that E7, you add your pinky in 3rd position of the B string. So those last 4 bars of the bridge go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so after that, you get the chorus twice, and there are no variations in there, so it's all pretty much what we've done before. The only thing is that at the end of that second chorus, there are 2 bass notes leading into the outro, and the outro is a little bit different. So what we'll talk about is the last bar of the very last chorus going into the outro. Here we go. Something like that. So what do? And I set the last bar as the last 2 bars of the chorus. So it starts normally, and then you get those 2 bass notes. So 4th on E to 2nd on E, 2 and we're still on. So 4th on E, 2nd on E, and then you go into the E chord. Right? That's nothing new. And then you have the 2 bass notes going up. 2nd position to 4th to A. And then the 2 again going down. And then the A chord again once. And then you just strum the chord, and that's it. Right? That's it. That's the whole song. I hope you like that. Give the video a like or subscribe to my channel or do any of that stuff. And I hope to see you again for the next one. Bye.